Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's time for this week's episode of Tuesday Preppers, where we take a look at the in-game news for Final Fantasy Brave Exvius and see what kinds of content is coming out, take a look at what kinds of enemies we're going to be facing, and get a little understanding of maybe what elements we want to use, and get an idea of what we're going to be dealing with and having some fun with on Thursday. So this week is no exception to that, and we have 5 different pieces of content coming out for Legends of Mana. So we'll go ahead and get started with that. This first event that we're going to be dealing with is the main farming event, saving the Yumi, or however you pronounce it. I don't know. Is it a soft J? But it's a box summon event, and the main enemy that you're going to be facing in this is a beast enemy. I'm calling it Dwinky. It has no weaknesses or resistances, and you can use all the breaks you want on it. It's a beast, though. It looks kind of like a Sasquatch. It's kind of neat looking from the wiki. But you want to obviously farm up as much as you can, get stuff to oversummon the box and do all that stuff. And they tell you again that you can use the filters to find out who you can take. Pretty cool. Yeah, it's a box summon event, so go in and farm it and get all the box stuff that you can. And there's lots of good stuff in there, hopefully. They don't really tell us a whole lot about that on this page. So there you go. Beasts. We know we need beasts, so keep that in mind. The next event that we've got are 3 Silver Crown fights. The first one is Lapis Lazuli of the Greater Luster. This is the Silver Crown battles for Elazul. This is against the Lord of Jewels, level 999. It's a stone enemy with 100% resistance to ice and earth and 60% resistance to lightning and water. Has 20% weakness to fire, wind, light, and dark. And you can use all the breaks you want. Now, this is the first instance that I've probably ever said, and probably ever will say, of when it's an okay time to exchange your Master's Crowns for a Gold Crown. In this case, these units are time limited, so if you don't get an Elazul here, and you've never gotten one before, you're probably not going to get a chance to get one ever again. So if by the end of the event you don't have an Elazul, probably okay to exchange your crowns, because who knows if we're ever going to get a rerun of this event. So there you go. And even if we did, by that time, these units can be worth using. If you've got them right now, go ahead and crown them, and it's cool. It's just free, good stuff. But yeah, that's just my little opinion there. So yeah. Notice light is a weakness on this fight, so that's important to note. The next one is the Pearl of Greater Luster, and this is Silver Crowns for Pearl. Also, Lord of Jewels, but this one's level 1000. It's a stone, just again, has the same resistances, loses some weaknesses, but retains the weakness to light. So light is an element that you can use on both the Lord of Jewels fights, and will probably be a good element to focus on. Since we are not required to bring mana units, we can bring whatever we want. Just bring your best light team, and you're probably going to take both these out really quickly. Same caveat applies for Pearl's crowns. I personally have a Pearl, so I plan on upgrading her for free, but we'll see. This one's a little bit different. This is a Thief's Pride. This is for Ninja Master Hawkeye. And this is against Zabelfair. There's 3 parts to this fight, or this boss. It has multiple parts. It's a Reaper, has resistances to dark and water and 60% earth, and again, minus 20% light. So with that said, I think that light is probably the best element to take to these 3 fights, since you can, and you probably don't have to change your gear that much. Just bring AoE chainers and blow it up with your best light team. Probably not gonna be too hard, but we are gonna have some fun with these, and try and take some interesting units and see what the fights do. I've kind of gotten away from doing that just because I've been really busy, but I want to get back to this, what does this fight actually do if you drag it out for 5 turns or 10 turns or however long, just because that helps people who maybe can't do it in turn 3 or even turn 1. So we'll try and do some of that on Thursday. It just depends on how busy things are on stream. But yeah, again, Hawkeye's crown. So I've got Hawkeye as well, so I plan on upgrading Hawkeye because his are pretty neat. So since we're talking about these crowns, I'll go ahead and show you what their crowns are. And this is kind of a mouthful. So we are getting crowns for all 3 of them, just like it says. And here's their upgrades. Elazul's ability gets upgraded to boosted attack, LB damage, and the modifier is LB. Wind damage of LB, abilities, and magic for caster. That sounds like an amp. So he's getting that, as well as leader skill, new abilities, and some upgrades. Pearl is getting something very similar. She's got some crowns in her base form and some in her shift form. The shift form has basically just killers for everything to 100 and changes her LB effects, which is nice. It makes gearing her a little easier. And then her base form just kind of gives some dark amps and stuff like that. Makes it sound like you might want to use her base LB and then attack one time and then use her shift LB. It's kind of what it sounds like. She's a trance shifter though, and that's sometimes a little bit annoying. But yeah, she's getting some upgrades here as well. There you go. And Hawkeye's, I think, is really, really good. In his base form, he gets, you know, some nice boosts that are like auto cast at the start of the fight. Some imperils and some breaks and some demon killer for the party. And then his shift form, his true weapon smack, which is his 90% break, it is now usable every 4 turns and has bigger breaks for everything, which is really nice. He gets a leader skill as well. He gets an EX ability. He gets some more killers in his kit, and some new upgrades. So really cool. I love that these are free. I love that they're just, you know, potentially giving you one of these units and then you can upgrade them. Personally, and here's what I'm talking about. These collaboration celebration tickets give you a chance to get one of these units. I have all of these with the exception of Elazul. So I'm really, really hopeful for an Elazul here. Just like speaking that into existence game. I would really like an Elazul so I can have the whole set and then get his TMR and STMR, because that was one that I missed when he came around. Also, we're getting some fragments as well. So there you go. Very cool. But we'll go ahead and move on to the last one, which is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Looking Glass Tower. This is just a equipment upgrade event against the Iron Centaur, which is neither a beast or a machine. It's a human, which makes a ton of sense for an enemy named the Iron Centaur. It resists ice, lightning, and dark at 100%. It has no weaknesses, so you can probably just take your same ice team or light team and blow this one up too. But this gets you the Rabbite Ear Hat, which has 67 attack and magic, which is kind of whatever. Defense 13, spirit 33, blah, whatever. But then for mana units, it gives attack and magic 500 and boosted parameters when equipping an Esper. So potentially kind of cool. You know, this, excuse me, this plus GF extension, you've got 100% of the Esper stat bonus. So that's pretty cool. Right there. So these are exciting, you know, lots of options coming up for content. As far as the units go, I don't know a ton about them. And I'm not really a mana fan specifically. I don't know why I have all those units other than Elazul. But we got Shiloh and Seraphina. I made a joke on stream tonight that, you know, Seraphina sounds like a water company, and Shiloh is just named Shiloh. But there's a vision card that's coming out on this banner, which I think is potentially cool. It just depends on how you like to play and what you like to go for. But, you know, that's a thing. And yeah, fire damage dealer, light damage dealer. They have fields. Cool. TMR, STMR weapons. You know, everybody loves those, right? So let's talk a little bit about killers. So we know we need Beast. We know we need Reaper. We know we need Stone, and we know we need Human. So if we look at Beast, Beast is one, oh my gosh, I turned on the Christmas lights. Beast is one that has a bunch of options. You can get Beast Killer Plus from Scorn of Aemon. Rafflesia, which is one of the harder 12 types trials, can get you Beast Eater Sense. Cerberus can get you Beast Killer Plus, the recipe for it. That way you can make all the ones you want. Oh my gosh, I'm so tired. Irvin gets you Valued Memories for 100% Beast Killer and Machine Killer. Vortex of the Past gives you the same, but that's a time limited STMR. Lots of things for Beast. Scorn of Aemon's the best one you can go after for just like really quick and dirty, get it done. It's the intermediate version, not hard at all. Go blow Aemon up. You know, Human is another category that we're gonna need, but Human's like super easy to pick up. Most common killer in the game, easily. Man-Eater Sense, Man-Killer Plus from Elnath, Guy's Belt with Star Quartz, Weapon Specialist, tons and tons of options. Mask of Ashura, you know, goodness sakes, so many choices for human killer that we don't need to talk about it. But there are Stone and there is Reaper. So Reaper, I want to point out, you can get Undead Killer Plus in the recipe from Dulan. You can get Reaper Eater Sense from the Stroper. And you can get Conquering the Fear of Spirits from Scorn of the Ancient Hellbringer. We've done Ancient Hellbringer recently, so I'm not too worried about that one. But since you can get Reaper Eater Sense from Stroper and Stone Killer Plus from Stroper, that's where we're going to go tonight. So Stone Killer Plus from Stroper for Stone Killer, Stone Eater Sense from Archeo Avis, very, very easy. Go knock that one out. You've got no excuse. But again, Weapon Specialist, Scanning Goggles, Storm Bunny Jacket, Stone Killer from King Giot, or the Intermediate Stroper Trial. Tons and tons of options. So we're going to show you how to do Stroper tonight. And that's going to get us Stone Killer Plus and the Stone Eaters and the Reaper Eater Sense. So we're going to get Stone and Reaper in the same run. And that's going to be really efficient. So if you're a newer player who's never done Stroper, I'm here to tell you that you can easily do this with, you know, a couple of units that are, you know, maybe hard to come by, maybe not, but we're gonna show you a couple things here. So we're gonna go into Nemesis, 12 types takedown, and we're gonna scroll all the way down to the bottom to Stroper, who's the second one here. The advanced version here. Go ahead and look at the strategy. It's a stone enemy. He puts up single target attacks on certain turns, which remove resistance and inflict stone. We're not going to worry about that because we're going to kill this in 2 turns. And he puts up an area of effect that lowers earth resistance for allies and enemies at the start of the battle. So even though he's a stone enemy, you kind of want to use stone damage against him. If you do it within 10 turns, you get the Reaper Eater Sense. And that's what we're going for, as well as Stone Killer Plus. So just beat it within 10 turns. Don't worry about party of 5 if you can't do it. Don't worry about no KOs if you can't do it. You can come back for that later once you get a stronger team. But these two are we're going to focus right now. We're going to grab a friend. We're looking for a Selfie. Now, Selfie is kind of naturally good at Stone Killer. This Selfie has 250, so, you know, not terrible. Could be better, could be worse, but that's what we're going to go with. We're going to go with this Selfie right here. Selfie is probably on a lot of your friends lists right now, so Selfie is a good choice. So we're going to go ahead and grab Selfie. Now, I'm bringing a Selfie as well, and she's also set as our leader. And then we've got a couple other units. This Vaughn does not really even need to be here, honestly, because our tank is going to cover most of the damage. However, this Vaughn, 5-star Vaughn, 7-star Vaughn, is our passive provoker. So he's got passive provoke, and he's got immunity, and he's got, you know, whatever. He's got 10,000 needles, although he does not need it because he's got a skill called Jade Parry that we're going to use. But again, he's just provoking and evading, and it's fine. Our Roberta, this does not need to be an EX3. She does probably want to be at least EX2. She is going to be using our doing Stone Killer for us. And she's only going to be in our base form, not our shift form. So she's just wearing her TMR. I guess a vision card, but she doesn't really need it. You know, I can take this off. She's not doing anything in this whole fight. Just casting Stone Killer. If you don't have Roberta, bring somebody else who can do Stone Killer. So anybody else. So like Chizuru could do Stone Killer. Roberta can do Stone Killer. Lots and lots of choices at this point in the game. Those are just the easiest ones I could think of. Somebody who can do Stone Killer. Paladin Sylvie can do Stone Killer. Honestly, better than Roberta anyway. Cool. So that's who you want to bring. Just somebody for Stone Killer. Our tank, to take an example from a video I did just the other day about like auto buffs, our Snow here is starting in the shift form with the Cozy Scarf for stone mitigation, Impenetrable Pennant for mitigation, Saintly Castle for mitigation, Wisdom of Hest for mitigation and buffs. And then he's going to go to the base form where he's going to do his tanking. He is geared for physical evasion. He's got provoke, but you know, honestly, our other provokers be provoking anyway, so it's fine. He's just going to be absorbing damage and not doing anything else. So there you go. He's got Runda's shield, Kelger's armor, which these are both free items. Heals could be replaced with anything else with evasion. I just like putting my tanks in heals. It's just a thing that we do on my channel. And then he's just got, you know, HP, defense, spirit, you know, whatever. My My Snow's abilities are crowned because I did that for some reason. I don't know why, but I did. They probably don't need to be crowned. Evasion works just fine on this fight, so there you go. And then we're going to talk about Selfie. So, Selfie is, in my case, just wearing a bunch of trial gear and event gear. This is trial. This is an upgradable STMR. So is this is an STMR. Yep, for Wizard of Shantoto. Trial reward, her own stuff. Event gear. This is the one thing that's not. This is a Neovision's TMR, but this could be replaced. It doesn't have to be. You don't even need this. I just put it on there. And they're wearing the Dark Lineage Vision card. It was free. It has bonus stat, attack, and magic on it. So it's pretty good for a free card. And she's got 104 or 10,400 magic. Pretty nice. Our friend Selfie, geared very similarly, has more magic, has less killers. There you go. Whatever. Not really geared for this trial. But we grabbed him because it's a Selfie, and that way they can chain together. Let's go ahead and dive into this fight, and we will go ahead and show you the actions as well. Here we go. Super easy. So there's that Earth Imperil field that the boss does. And we're just going to start off here with our Vaughn, just using Jade Parry. That's going to put up Mirage stacks for the party for several turns. Snow is going to go to the base form, and he's going to Heroic Guard and Physical Cover. That's going to override his automatic magic cover and make sure he's physical covering, because that's what we really need here. Roberta is going to just use Stone Killer. There we go. Now our two Selfies are just going to do a little bit of chaining this turn. My Selfie is going to use Boost to boost our stats, Meltdown to break the enemy, and then use Intense Quake, right? And Furious Quake Raw. Our friend Selfie is going to go ahead and use Wall, just cuz. And then she's going to use Slots, just cuz we need 2 actions to kind of line up our 2 chainers. And then she'll use Intense Quake and Furious Quake Raw as well. And we're just going to do a little bit of chaining here on this boss. It's going to look a little something like this. There we go. Tank covers all the damage, and we're on turn 2. And our Selfies are honestly just now going to quad Furious Quake Raws and knock this fight out. So we'll just do quad, Furious, nope, not Intense, not Boost, Furious Quake Raw. And we'll just send those chainers. And there you go. NVA's just power creeping these trials. And this is going to get you, again, Reaper Killer and Stone Killer, which is good for, multiple events this week. We'll do the breakdown and see whose Selfie did more damage. Was me having more killers better, or was them having more stats better? Them having more stats apparently ended up being better. Now, in their case, they had 2,000 more magic than me. So, 50% killer versus 2,000 more magic, you weigh that out and you get a little more damage out of that much bigger boost in stats. Mine was not geared very well. I didn't have like the Clash of Wills gear and like the really high magic accessories and stuff like that. I could go higher. I was just trying to show my Selfie on a budget. Grab the best geared Selfie friend you've got and you can wipe this trial out really, really easily. And that's pretty much it. So for now, we're going to be done and we're going to go. Oh, there we go. Me completing quests. We're going to be done and we'll be back on Thursday with some content that's, live over on Twitch. And hopefully that's something that you would want to come see and you come check us out. We start that up on 9 p.m. Central Time over on Twitch. So yeah, we'll do the Silver Crown fights and we'll do maybe the equipment upgrade. I might do this I might do the King Mog or the box summon and the equipment upgrade during the day, just because that's not maybe going to be super exciting. We'll see how it goes. Either way, looking forward to, you know, having some fun doing the Silver Crown fights over on Twitch. I don't think they're going to be that hard. I really don't. But we'll do it. We'll do it and have a good time with it. In the meantime, you guys be good to each other. Take care, and we will see you on Thursday. All right. Bye.